Hey you guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. If you are new here, my name is Liyahdaniele and welcome to my channel. So y'all, today I got another little story time for you guys. Because let me see something. Y'all was eating the last story time up and really enjoyed that. So I'm gonna go ahead and give y'all another little juicy one. Before we get into the video, make sure y'all like, comment, and subscribe. Y'all go ahead and comment. Go ahead and post what y'all want to see me to do, okay? Because like I said, trying to come up with content as a girl creator is kind of hard. I'm still trying to get my groove into what I like or what I want to show you guys or what I don't want to show you guys. So it's like, it's a lot. It's a lot. So comment what you want to see. Subscribe to my YouTube channel, y'all. Thank y'all so much for all of the love that I have been receiving these past however long this is been. So you guys, I'm gonna tell y'all about the time that I got fired from my job, my most recent job. Okay, I'm gonna give y'all a little tea. I'm gonna let y'all in on what's been going on in the Department of Employment for Leah. Okay, I used to work remote. I was a billing representative for a specialty pharmacy. I'm not gonna put any names or anything in this video because like I said, I don't want to get sued or for like defamation of character, whatever the case may have been. I don't want to no problems. I'm just telling y'all what has happened to me. So pretty much I was a billing representative for a specialty pharmacy, and I was working remote. So with me working remote came a lot of challenges. When I tell you, people will be saying that, oh, I want to work from home, I want to work from home, I want to work from home. It's not for the weak. It is not for the weak at all. Being remote means being by yourself a lot of the time. Being remote means that you don't have really no communication with the outside world. You're at home 24/8. You really don't get to see people unless you get to the weekend. Like, being at home was a lot. It took a lot. It took a toll on me mentally because it had me stressing. I was crying almost every single day. I was depressed. I was going through so much when I was working remote. I was working this job. I got on because one of my closest, like my play aunt, she got me on the position. My older sister actually worked this job before I did, and my older sister got fired. I was working this job, and this has always been my motto. You quit before they can fire you. That's always been my motto. Quit the job before they can get to you. Termination kind of like really puts like a bad taste in other employers' mouths when they're trying to hire you. So it's like, okay, so why did you get terminated from your last position? Oh, because I broke a company policy. Like, what? So it's like termination really puts a bad taste in your new employer's mouths. I ain't gonna lie, at the beginning it was kind of hard learning the system, and you know, you've never done remote before, but you gotta learn a new system and how it works, and you know, how to talk to customers / patients over the phone. It's extremely hard. It's extremely stressful. It took a lot. So I was doing that for 2 years. Literally 2 whole years. I had just made it to my 2-year mark when I got fired. I felt like, honestly, in my opinion, and this is my opinion, nobody can make me change how I feel. This is my opinion. I felt like the supervisor that was working there at the time, I felt like she definitely had it out for me. Like, she knew that I wasn't necessarily doing good with my numbers, and that my metrics weren't really like meeting where they needed to be. I think she had it out for me. I think she really had it out for me and was like, oh, we are going to get Aaliyah fired, okay? So, and let me explain why, okay? It really just started with, I was doing good on my metrics. Everything was doing good. I was doing good on my metrics. I was pretty much meeting every metric. I think the only thing that I was really like, what was really like holding me up was my holding time, my call time with the patients or whatever. If you know what working from remote and you know your metrics, my HAC, I think it's what it was called. I don't remember. I don't remember, but pretty much me handling that, my call handle time was a little high because yeah, I would be on the phone for a long period of time with patients or customers, and you were only supposed to be on the phone with them for at least 15 minutes, no more than 15 minutes, no more than 30 minutes. I was on the phone with them, or I was on the phone with patients and whatever, and I would try my best because my thing is, if I can fix your issue within the time frame of me and you having this conversation, then that's what I'm gonna do. I'm not gonna sit here and I'm not gonna try to prolong your situation for over a time span of like 2 to 3 weeks. Like, I'm not gonna do that. That's dumb to me. I'm not gonna sit here and prolong your situation. If I can go ahead and fix it within the 45 minutes that we've been on the phone call, that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna fix your problem. Why you called my line? Because you have a problem with your account. I was doing that, helping patients. You know, I will always get a good review from patients. They will always be like, oh, Leah, you were so effective. Leah, you were always so helpful. And I'm gonna recommend you. I'm gonna send something to your supervisor. Is there any way that I can rate this call? Because I have a good experience with you. I had a good experience with you. You were so phenomenal. You were great. You were all these, etc., etc. So I'm like, okay, thumbs up. Okay, she does her job. She does good and all this other stuff. Okay, great. So it gets to I want to say about 2 or 3 months before I actually get fired. I was talking to her. She would pull me for calls. So the supervisor pulled one of my calls, or one of the calls had caught her attention because I did something wrong on the call, or what may have you. She said, oh, Leah, you didn't do this right, and you told the patient this amount of money when it was actually supposed to be this amount of money refunded back to them, and such and such. I said, well, that's not what the note said, because like I said, if you worked in billing, or if you have worked at a pharmacy or just remote period, there are notes, chart notes that other reps have left on the account that you're supposed to go back and read, right? So I was like, well, that's not what was said on the chart notes. Went back, read the chart notes. Chart notes said this. My calls were recorded, so you can very much go and see that this happened, right? To go do that, or you know, that whatever that happened. And she was like, well, I'm just gonna review the call, and once the call is reviewed, then I'm gonna go ahead and say that or whatever. So we went over the call or whatever, and she said, well, yeah, you did that right, or this is the correct amount, and da 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 and da 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 da. So she was like, okay, well, cool, great. So I said, okay, you know, everything's good then. We ain't gotta really worry about it. You get evaluated on your calls. And so the calls that they would pull would be my worst calls that I experienced with the patient. So she pulled one of the calls or whatever, and she was like, well, this call got pulled, and I'm trying to see exactly like where are we going wrong? What are we doing? What do we need to fix? And and whatever. I'm like, okay, cool. I said, well, I feel like y'all pull my worst calls and grade me off of my worst calls. It's like the ones that I do good, I said, I don't ever get, and this is straight up facts, I don't ever get any good reports. I said, every call that y'all pull is literally the calls that be like the worst calls. Like sometimes it'll be like, oh, well, I didn't identify the patient, or I didn't identify who was calling, and I'm like, okay, but if I don't do it initially, I will go back and do it. Or the customer will talk to me crazy, and y'all expect people just to sit there and let people talk to y'all crazy. I said, I'm still a human being. That's number one. I said, nobody's gonna sit here and talk to me crazy and think that they can get away with it. They expect us to literally like get talked to absolutely crazy. She did that or whatever. She was like, okay, well, she said, I'm gonna get a supervisor to help you, and the supervisor's gonna help you see what you're doing wrong and da 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 da. I said, okay, cool, great, love that. I'm gonna pair you with the supervisor, and that's gonna be good. I get back on calls, and you know, I finish. Our work is how I am, and this goes on for weeks and weeks and weeks and weeks and weeks. Need to remind you, the supervisor that she said that she was going to pair me with has never reached out to me. Never reached out. Never was like, hey, we're going to go over this call. Hey, we're going to do a little test run to see where you're feeling at, where I can help you with. I didn't get nothing. I never got in contact with the supervisor, and the supervisor is somebody that I talk to almost every single day. Not my aunt, but like on the chat that we have as a team, I talk to her almost every single day. So I'm like, okay, hey, I need your help with this. I need your help with that. What am I doing wrong? Whoop, whoop, whoop. So she keeps pulling my calls. She keeps pulling my calls, and my calls are literally the same way. They're literally, okay, Aaliyah, I see that you're not improving. What's going on? I thought I told Whoop the Whoop to pull you to the side or whatever the case may be. I was like, well, I haven't really been getting any help. I've been doing the calls to the best of my ability of what I've been trained to do this job. I've literally been here for 2 whole years. So it's not like I'm sitting here maliciously or doing things to an extent where it's making it seem as if I'm really trying to get fired, because I've never been fired from a job. I've never been fired. Leading up to one of my last calls, and this one is what really stuck with me to this day. So this particular call, the patient had called in, and there was like a balance on her account for over like $4,000. It was over $4,000. So like, I want to say really over $4,500. It was over that amount, and she called in so calm, cool, collected. She was like, hey, Aaliyah, my name is such and such, and I just really want to take care of a charge that was made to my bank card. It was for over $4,000, and I just want to take care of it because I have copay assistance on file. They're supposed to take care of the balance for me, so I just want to get my money back to the best of my abilities, because rent is coming up. So rent / mortgage / whatever is coming up, and hey, and that $4,000 is supposed to be going to something else. Is there any way that I can get my money back today? You call my line like that, you'll get all the help that you need, okay, ma'am? I literally was like, okay, I'm gonna work on this call because this lady deserves her money back. I'm not saying everybody doesn't deserve their money. You definitely deserve your money if your money was taken from you. But like, to come in on a calm, cool, collected spirit, like the Lord washed over you, yes, ma'am, you can get your money back today. I pretty much told her, I said, yes, ma'am, I will be more than happy to help you. I worked on that call, and I told my supervisors, I said, hey, my call is going over 30 minutes. So I'm going to be a little bit longer than expected, and I'm going to need y'all to bear with me because I'm helping a patient who's need her money back. So I'm working on her call, working on the call. I reach out to the copay assistance program. I'm like, hey, I just need to make sure that the funding is there so that we can go ahead and take care of this $4,000 balance that was on the account, because I really need to make sure that the patient gets refunded, and I just need to make sure that y'all pay first. They said, okay, cool, let's open this window up. They opened the window up, paid what they needed to pay. We was able to get that lady her $4,000 back. So I said, okay, cool, thanks. And she was so nice about it. She was like, Aaliyah, you were extremely helpful. You know, this is the most help I have ever gotten from anybody who has ever worked at this company. Everybody has always been like, oh, I'm gonna put a request in for this to be da-da-da-da-da. And I'm like, well, ma'am, if the issue can be resolved today, I see no problem in going ahead and fixing the issue instead of prolonging it for 3 to 5 weeks. I'm not going to do that to nobody who especially came in with a positive attitude, regardless of the fact that $4,000, over $4,000 was taken from her account. Why wouldn't you help her? So when I put in the chat that I was going to be on this call a little bit longer, she directly messaged me. She was like, Aaliyah, why are you on this call for over an hour? I said, well, the patient needed help. I said, the patient came in with a positive attitude, asked me nicely. She didn't cuss at me. She didn't call me a B. She didn't do all the things that all these other people think they are privileged to. She didn't do that. She came in so nice, okay, and asked me to do my job. And what did I do? I did my job. Yes, I helped her. I did exactly what I needed to do because she asked me to. I said, I don't do things if people don't ask me to do them. She asked me to do it. So she was like, oh, there's all these protocols in place in order for this, and this to work out, and this, and this, and that. I said, my thing is, y'all like to make issues, 45-minute to an hour issues, longer than that. I understand that we had other calls holding, and that's my bad. I'm not even going to sit here and hold you. Yes, that's my fault. But let's be for real. The people that keep calling in, or the same people, the reason why your call volume is so high is because it's the same people that you told Monday that their issue would be fixed by Wednesday. The issue had not been fixed on Wednesday, so they're calling back Thursday to let you know, hey, my issue from Monday has not been fixed on Wednesday. She was like, yeah, there's protocols and things that y'all need to, that we are supposed to be, that's supposed to be in place in order for us to have these issues resolved. I said, okay, cool, whatever. She said, you know what, I'm gonna go ahead and have to report this to HR. Need to remind you, she has reported other calls to HR that I was aware of. There was one time that she pulled my call and was like, what's going on, da, 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 da. And I sat there and cried, bald face, cried. Like, when I say I cried on the phone with that lady, I cried because I was stressed, I was depressed, I was going through so much, and the job was mentally making me crazy. And I sat there on the phone with you and bawled my eyes out and cried with you. And you said everything is going to be okay. I'm going to get you what you need. I'm going to get you the help that you need. You sat there and lied to me, lady. You sat there and lied. She said, you know what? I'm going to go ahead and report this to HR. More than likely, you will be terminated when I report this to HR because it's not your first offense. This is your second offense. I said, okay. All right, cool. Do what you got to do, big dog. It is what it is. I had told my mom, I prepared my mom. I was like, hey, I'm going to get fired. I've never been fired from a job ever in my life. Never. I said, so, looks like today's the day. She placed that, or she gave that to HR on Tuesday, which was December the 3rd. December the 5th, I was terminated as a worker. So I was fired on December the 5th. I pretty much gave all of my equipment back to them. I really wanted to burn it, but I knew I couldn't do that. So, but I gave it back. I gave them back all of their equipment, not damaged or anything. I just gave it back. So gave that back to them, and that was it. That was pretty much how I lost my job. I have been unemployed for the last 6 months. Literally, the other day was 6 months. I can definitely say, and this is like a testimony, honestly, I can honestly say with me being terminated from my job, I literally have not been broke. Like, I've never had to beg, borrow, or steal. Okay? God has really blessed me to the point where I didn't have to I did not have to literally suffer. Like, I was literally okay. I was able to pay what I needed to pay, bills I needed to pay, things I needed to get done. I was able to do them and all this stuff. So I'm extremely grateful for that, and I don't take that lightly at all. But I was asking God, I was like, yes, Lord, just remove those things that was gonna be conflicting to my now schedule that I have. I have so much free time, y'all, which is I'm extremely grateful for. I've had time to create the content that I wanted to create. I've had time to really focus on my podcast that I have with my friend. My sister is gonna give birth in a couple of weeks, y'all, in like 2 weeks. So she wants me to be at the hospital with her in those 2 weeks. So when I say that I have content coming from that, and she want me to be her, because I'm the only one with a camera. She want me to record her labor and her delivery. That's pretty much how that happened, how I got fired. And like I said, I'm not messed up about it. She told me I was terminated. It was like a sign of relief. I said, Lord, I can finally breathe. Thank you, God. Thank you so much for just a breath of fresh air, because I felt like I was just somebody was choking me. So I was so grateful. I'm still grateful, even though I am trying to be in a position of finding something else. Honestly, I ain't gonna lie, the looking journey, the trying to get a job journey has been extremely hard. But y'all, I really hope that you guys enjoyed this story time as much as I did telling y'all this. If you want to hear something else from me, just let me know. I'll be more than happy to let y'all in on the little world of mine. But make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Y'all go follow me on Instagram, okay? Follow me on IG. It's Liyahdaniele. Follow me on TikTok, same as well, Liyahdaniele. And I will see you guys in my next video.